Welcome to the Peak Performing Women series. I am Abiola Salami, the world-class performance strategist. On this series, we share insights that enable women deliver excellence as career professionals, entrepreneurs, political office holders, and how they can also deliver excellence in their personal lives. So follow our activities on the link on your screen to see how we are engaging and empowering women to become the very best that they can be. In this episode, we shall be discussing 8 big reasons you cannot afford to fail at having a healthy relationship with your boss. Now, whether your boss is male or female, it doesn't matter. It is important to cultivate healthy relationship with your boss. But before going full scale into the discussion, let me invite you to our monthly interactive session for Peak Performing Women, where you can share and obtain insights for delivering excellence in your space. Attendance is free. To register, simply visit www.thepeakperformer.africa/women interactive session. It is said that the only profession where people start off at the top is grave digging. This invariably means that in almost every other thing you do in life, which includes your career in the corporate world, you will definitely start from a lower rung of the ladder with someone as your boss. This concept of hierarchy is so important in the workplace that the first thing a new hire is taught in the organization is the organizational chart or organogram, how power is distributed and how responsibilities are distributed. Once you understand the power structure in any organization, you can better navigate the terrain. It can be difficult when you are working under the supervision of another person, owing to the fact that the balance of power may not be skewed towards you. It could seem like a long walk on eggshells. Notwithstanding, you have to learn to effectively manage that relationship. This is not only important when you were relatively a greenhorn and you still had a long way to go in your career. In fact, it is more important to manage relationship effectively now that you have already attained some senior leadership role. Emotional intelligence definitely empowers you to understand the power structure, better navigate conflicts, and resolve crises. There are a number of benefits that come with having a healthy relationship with your boss, and we'll be discussing some of them in this episode. Number 1. Cultivating a healthy relationship with your boss, whether male or female, will reduce your work stress. Stress is defined as a state of mental or emotional strain or tension resulting from adverse or demanding circumstances. It can then be further argued that stress can both be natural and unnatural in the workplace. Natural in the sense that certain circumstances are inevitable, and such you have developed the capacity to manage over time. For example, in densely populated metropolitan cities, traffic congestion, although undesirable, are frequent occurrences. Also in the workplace itself, you can go through stress of a sedentary position or a tasking brief. It becomes unnatural when, owing to your perceived fallout with your boss, he or she becomes your principal stressor and weaponizes more stress against you. Not that this is acceptable by any standard, but it is one of the brutal signatures of office politics. As such, you may find yourself working more hours than you ought to. You may be asked to do more with less resources than your colleagues, or even be assigned to the most mentally draining clients. That's why it is important that you cultivate healthy relationship with your boss. Number 2 is cultivating healthy relationship with your boss will help to boost your morale. One of the things that wears people out mentally is the thought of resuming every day of working week to deal with a cantankerous boss. It can hamper your productivity because even your body will begin to resent the job. My dear woman, this type of antagonistic atmosphere is not sustainable because in most cases, you spend at least a third of your day at the workplace, which accounts for a significant fraction of your life. So let me tell you, for the sake of your sanity and your own motivation, especially when it is apparent that you will continue your employment at that organization in the foreseeable future, you should get on the same page with your boss. When you have a cordial relationship with your boss, you are naturally in high spirits because you know that your presence and contribution in the workplace is appreciated. This is the state of mind you want to operate from. It will ultimately reflect on your productivity and overall well-being. Number 3, cultivating healthy relationship with your boss can put you on a fast lane in your career. Now, this doesn't necessarily imply that you should become a stooge just to be in the good graces of your boss. It also doesn't mean that meritocracy is being sacrificed on the altar of nepotism. It does mean that the productive interactions you have with your boss gives him or her a better perspective of your contributions and therefore puts you in a pole position for greater opportunities and rewards, which will definitely fast track your career. Especially in large organizations, it is highly unlikely that the chief executive may have direct access to your day-to-day routine. He or she, which is the chief executive, has to rely heavily on the report your line manager or your supervisor, who is your direct boss, gives. For example, your boss may even help you refine your efforts and ensure they are tailor-made to better meet your deliverables and key performance indicators from a management standpoint. But you may not be privy to that information if you don't cultivate a healthy relationship with your boss. The fourth reason you need to develop a healthy relationship with your boss is because it can help you receive useful feedback. See, there are certain things you can only get from your boss when there is effective communication and a healthy boss-subordinate relationship. This type of feedback is very important because it comes before the fact. When you get corrections or comments before job evaluations or appraisal, it's a blessing. When these corrections come after the fact, it somewhat takes away from your assessment because beyond the specific criteria of your job appraisal, your leadership quotient is what is really being measured. When there is no love lost between you and your boss, there is a high probability that he or she will not go the extra mile to look out for you, but will leave you to your own whims and caprices, which can ultimately haunt you in the grand scheme of things. My dear woman, you are the one that needs to put in the extra effort to hear what your boss is saying or not saying. That simple approach can become very rewarding during your employment in that organization. Number 5 reason that you need to develop a healthy relationship with your boss. Nobody will tell you this one, but I will tell you. It is because it increases your chances of promotion. Yes, that is true. You see, every organization seeks continuity. They seek continuity to perpetuate themselves by creating a pipeline of leaders that can easily replace existing leaders. So while merit is a strong basis for promotion, there are other considerations from the organization's perspective in terms of which persons can best represent the interests of the organization at a much higher level. The ability to get along with the existing leadership is an indication of whether or not you have gotten with the program. Getting along with your boss really is not about him or her, but it speaks to the broader issues of your own social skills. No organization wants to promote a person who doesn't get along with others into the highest echelons of the organogram. In fact, the higher you go in any organization, the more you have to engage stakeholders within and outside that organization. And that is a proof that your sagacity must be exhibited at one level before being elevated to another level. Just like academic institutions are required to progress students on the twin criteria of learning and character, organizations are no different. The 6th reason you need to cultivate a healthy relationship with your boss is because it fosters mutual understanding. You see, communication and comprehension starts from one person understanding the other person even before a response to what they say or don't say. One of the challenges that comes with your inability to get along with your boss is that you will struggle to grasp their perspective and rationale for making certain decisions. Mutual understanding comes with mutual benefits. Both you and your boss will gain clarity into each other's modus operandi. There is a certain level of productivity that can only be unlocked from having order, which is further predicated on a convergence of ideas. Most conflicts are avoidable because such rifts are really about two people saying the same thing in a different way or taking a different route to arriving at the same destination. This will help you filter your approaches, especially as it borders on negotiables and non-negotiables. There are certain things like the specificity of your job title that are very expendable, and you don't have to split hair over such. You can choose, on the other hand, to stand your ground against any abuse of human dignity. That is very understandable and necessary. The seventh reason you need to develop a healthy relationship with your boss is because it increases your access to opportunities. My dear woman, you see, the reward for great work, they say, is more work, right? Your work doesn't just imply how well you execute on your task, but also how well you work with other people, and in this case, how well you work with your boss. Giving you more opportunities is a means by which the organization validates your contribution. It means that you have ticked the right boxes, and amongst other things, your boss is pleased with your performance. You should be worried whenever your boss is not putting more work on your desk. It is not just a subtle way to saying that you are performing below par. It may also mean that you are inching closer to your exit. Less work is not something you should ever be happy about. It means you are very expendable, and if it continues long enough, your services may no longer be required. The eighth reason you need to develop a healthy relationship with your boss is because it strengthens mutual trust and confidence. When your boss sees how well you have maximized an opportunity, he or she will definitely want to have a repeat experience. For example, there will be times when your boss wants to assign someone to a task or delegate someone to represent him or her. Chances are that such choice will be informed by the extent of cordiality that exists between you and your boss. Your boss should be rest assured that, aside your competence, you have the right attitude to effectively represent at a higher level when called upon. Anytime your boss assigns a task to you, he or she is virtually staking their reputation on your ability to deliver the goods. My dear woman, so as you can expect, nobody will take a chance on their hard-earned pedigree on someone who has not been tried, tested, and trusted. If you, for example, now have to give a speech on behalf of your boss, everything you say or don't say will be seen as a direct instruction from him or her. If you cannot be trusted by your boss to carry out things like that, it means you have more work to do on the relationship between both of you. Thank you for watching this episode on the Peak Performing Woman series, where we discussed 8 big reasons you need to cultivate healthy relationship with your boss. If you know any woman who needs this video, please feel free to share the link with them. Our team is working on an expanded book titled The Peak Performing Woman's Guidebook. You can pre-order your copy on the link on your screen right now. And for coaching, training, speaking, and collaboration inquiries, please send us an email on hello@abiolachamp.com. You can also follow me at abiolachamp on all social media platforms. Till the next episode, keep rocking your world like a champion.